Day 2, From the Ashes, Genesis 3:15. God said to Satan, "You have ruined my plan to dwell with mankind. And so, for there to be eternal peace between my special creation and myself, I will make your relationship with them impossible and filled with animosity. They and their descendants will never trust you. This includes the one who will come to restore what you have destroyed. And while you may think that you can harm him and cause him to fall, in the end he will destroy you and restore peace." The image here is fierce and violent. Very strong words are used in Genesis 3:15. Enmity, crushing, and striking. There will be constant warfare between mankind and the serpent, Satan and his realm. Satan will use every trick, every con, and every lie to make peace with God impossible. At one point, he almost did succeed, and mankind, except for one family, was destroyed. That act of salvation is a reminder that no matter what Satan may do or attempt will end in futility. He will not destroy man. He may be able to hinder, harm, and scare man, but he cannot destroy God's creation. The promised Christmas, the day when he was capable of destroying all of Satan's power and undo the ruin sin has brought on mankind, would come. From the ashes of the first sin would rise hope. It is like the impact of a volcanic eruption. It destroys everything in its path, and it looks like there will never be any hope of life being revived. Yet in the very material that brings destruction exist the resources for life to resurge. It may take time, but it will happen. Seeds will arrive on the winds, insects will come, and both seeds and insects will attract birds, then small animals, and so on, until the barren land is restored and life flourishes. Sin almost destroyed the relationship of peace God desired with man. At times, its restoration looked bleak, yet through the passage of time, faith would grow, and the seeds of peace would be planted. A person and a family would be established. They would grow to become a nation and change the direction of history to make possible the one who would end the constant lack of peace that had been created. There were so many attacks over the years. Even the most faithful felt the serpent's bite in a moment of despair. Moses, his constant lack of faith, "I can't speak," and God finally boiled over and he assumed too much. Exodus 3:14. David, he faced so many temptations and faltered and opened the door to dissension in his house. 2 Samuel 12:10. Elijah, the great victory followed by a personal threat, sent him into despair for a moment. 1 Kings 19:3. No one escaped without being scarred in one way or another, yet they were only flesh wounds, wounds that could be treated and from which each one recovered. They left scars, reminders of the hostility that existed. Yet even the scars became a reminder of the promise given. God never abandons those who seek him. So no matter what Satan could or would do, in the end it would not be enough to prevent God's promised Christmas from coming. Even in the days leading up to that incredible day, when peace would be restored, the attacks, the nasty biting reached a fearsome level. The pregnancy would cause so much pain and potential for doubt. The requirement to travel a harsh trail in the last days of the pregnancy was uncomfortable. Then the attempted murder that resulted in the deaths of so many, followed by the need to flee and live like refugees, unable to return home because of a further threat against the child. But in each case, God provided protection, healing, and strength. More years passed, and then the time came for the end of the fear. It would come at an incredible price, like a venomous bite that appeared to succeed. It appeared to bring an end to the hope given that first day, the hope that the power of the venom of sin would be nullified. The universe paused for those 3 days. The mourning was intense. Then came the crushing blow that had been promised. Death, that threat of eternal separation from God, was defanged. all its venom drained, and the head that had so effectively used both was not simply crushed, it was annihilated. The promised peace and restoration with God was now a reality. This may sound like a strange way to view Christmas, but it is a key part of what God promised. A promise that one would come who, by his suffering, no, by his willingness to suffer for us, would end the terror of the serpent's bite.